Content.
Content warning. Smoking, language, discussions of fictitious violence are all part of this show. Okay, we said it. So there.
Well, okay, but you could have said something nice about the audience or anything.
The audience is lovely. They know that.
Yeah, but it's always nice to hear. You know what? No, just let me just let me start the music. Hey everybody, how's it going out there? Wow. Got so caught up dancing that I dropped my mouse. How you doing? I am. Oh wait, y'all can't even hear this, huh? Let's do this again. Let's do this one more time.
Did they hear the content warning?
No, we can edit that in post. Hey everybody, how you guys doing out there for take two? I am Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer, and I am here. I am here. What the? Oh, gotta fix that. I am here today. Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, I am here today. So I totally thought, totally thought I had everything together. I'm like, all right, every single time, every time.
But the thing is, you did have it together. You had everything where it needed to be, and then the world, the universe, the energies that exist threw new curves at you.
Yeah,
You
that's.
couldn't consider that you weren't ready.
I love the way that you say that. Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting you up here today. I was cleaning up a bunch of stuff.
You can just be an ethereal voice for the day.
Oh, no. You will be here. So, everybody. Yeah?
To cover time, I actually do want to mention that the beauty that I get as the guest on the show is I don't get to hear the intro music. I just get to watch Solar dance like a Muppet for a few moments because I don't have the music playing.
Yeah, we're gonna fix that too. Hang on, wrong one. That's the one. Yeah, I just gotta. Oh, there we go. There you are. I can see your face. I see the face. And here we go. I am here with D.W. McCann. How you doing out there, man?
Doing all right.
So,
Upright, above ground, and breathing.
all right. Now, what was that about? Like, that's right. You can't hear the music. So you get the total like comedy of me dancing like there's somebody with their hand up my butt and my arms are freaking attached to sticks, right? That's yeah.
Well, I don't know about the hand up your butt part, but yeah, you did have a lot of the stick. I just remember the old joke of a Muppet leaving as the.
Oh man. So yeah, like I said, I almost had everything together, but I had to make a few adjustments because I'm like, wait a second, where is his face? What the, oh no, we ain't doing that. Nah, I ain't going out like that. Nah, I ain't doing that.
Dropping like 3 viewers by showing my face. That's a detriment to
Yeah, but I pick up like 5 more. See, it's a little give, a little take, and all that stuff. So
I have a face for voice acting.
yeah, you know what? You can say that all you want. We have been friends long enough for me to know how many women have been attracted to you over the course of my life and your life.
I
And
cannot speak to people's
And
Something I get to.
and how many more men have been attracted to you over the course of your life?
Insanity does not know gender.
Yeah, well, it's not insanity. The LGBT people that we know have high standards, all right? And you've been on their list, all right? So don't give me that. I got a face for voice acting. You know, my mom always said I had a face for radio. Yeah, no, don't give me that. You're a handsome man. Not that I want to pick out curtains with you or anything, but you know, it's that kind of thing. So yeah. For those of you guys that aren't in the know, DW McCann and I have been working together for. Again, he's my great entertainer, a great humanitarian, and one of my dearest friends for years. And yeah, this guy is like really, really, yeah. What is this? If they make a list, do they check it twice?
The list of people that you said I've gotten added to.
They check it a lot. You know, sometimes to make sure that I'm still not on it. So it's like, wait a second. Well, when he's wearing that outfit, you know.
If you're going to drop that one, I can drop the list of people I know who've been attracted to you as well. So
See, that's not fair.
known a lot
Yeah.
of circles.
No, that is not fair because you never told me. Huh? What?
You're even on that front.
It's different. You're a serial monogamist. I get long relationships and then long. Yeah, never mind. We're not talking. That's for our meeting Friday down by the docks. All right, that's the whole thing. Oh man. So welcome to the dark side of the room, guys. I am Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer, along with.
DW McCann, the bard in the deck.
All right, and I'm changing up the format of how we do the things, you know, not as much casual conversation, but in case you guys hadn't noticed, if you've been watching this week has had a theme, and that's what I'm going to start doing. Every week is going to be like, hey, this is our theme. We're going to expand on that theme, and then I'm going to bring in a guest to talk their thoughts on the theme for the week. That way, I seem like I know what I'm doing just a little bit more. Not that I do, but I figure if I look like it, that's good enough. Well, how's that sound to you, D-Dubs?
Sounds great.
Awesome.
I've been watching episodes even before I came on.
Awesome. Very awesome. I'm very happy about that. But before we start talking and all that jazz, I want to give a major shout out to my people in the chat, on the Twitch, and on them YouTubes. All right, we're talking, hey, Clever Little Vixen's back, holding it down like gravity. We've got Alisadra, Ella, Commander Root. Oh, cool. Glow is here. Neon Arlecchino, our favorite clown. But just know, we haven't moved the wizard tower too far from your bridge. Know that. We got our boy Xanathades. We got our boy Gray Ghost 82. Now, what is up with our people on one of those other not social media things, but all that stuff? But let's see here. Before we get started and all that jazz, I want to give a major shout out to my boy Nerd Soul, NERD SOUL, who's already started doing the reviews on Secret Invasion. Like, he's like on top of that stuff. I'm like, dude, all right. We gonna talk about that. Yeah, exactly. It came out yesterday and he dropped a video on it this morning. And I'm just like, do you sleep? Is that the whole thing? Because you got a full family. You got a kid, you got a wife, you got a day job, you're doing the YouTube thing, and now you're dropping reviews on stuff that just starts. Like, stop making me feel bad about myself, man. Like, you know, seriously. You know, he's just grinding and all that stuff. But since we are talking about the stuff that we've talked about this week, being freedom, having the freedom to pause for just a minute sometimes, and of course, kindness. All right, we gonna talk about that today. As I sit up, trying not to beat myself up for not being like my YouTube friends and my Twitch friends, going stupid. I should take better note. You know, then the me that dresses in all white is like, hey, hearken to me. Be kind to yourself. Yes, many deserve major followers, but others deserve to be canceled. Can you give that to them? So if you guys have any comments or anything like that, any questions and anything you want to reach out to me about, all you got to do is pull up your keyboard. Okay, pull up that keyboard and type in back in the deck at gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. You can also reach out to me on Twitter because I haven't said no to Apartheid Clyde, but I was barely there in the first place. But you know what? If y'all send me a message and I get the notification, then boom, I'll go back on Twitter. That's just the whole thing. You can always reach out to me also on Instagram. All three of those are at Back in the Deck. That's BACKINTHEDECK. And if you guys are actually young, hip, got good knees, a good back, you only need to sleep 2 hours a night, that means you're on TikTok. So reach out to us over there at BidPy. That is BIDPY. And if you're not like the people we just described and you're like us, that means you're still part of that wretched hive of scum and villainy known as Facebook because you got your account in 2007 and you just haven't deleted it yet. So while you're there, you may as well jump on to the group Deckers on the Book, where you guys can talk and be in community with us. I don't mean, oh yeah, parasocial community. Nah, man, we talk. We have picnics. We schedule games. We talk to each other about, hey, how can I get this effect on this terrain that I'm building? We are in there. We are doing it. But if you're not down with that, I get it. I understand. Maybe you want to start like some sort of community with a relatively famous voice actor that's working all the time. And if that's what you want to do, I can't tell you how to do that. I really can't. Because all of my friends who are relatively successful, I knew when they were still struggling and starving and we were all like juggling for change. But I know somebody who can let you know. Mr. McCann, if they wanted to get into some sort of correspondence with a working voice actor who's making things good, how can they find one?
They can find me on most social medias as Bardic_DW. And they can catch what I do on Saturday morning cartoons and on video games. I got a new one coming out that I can't talk about yet. Though I'm very proud of a lot of my friends who got in on Diablo and the new Zelda, and there's a lot of good VO work out there right now. People I'd like to prop up for that. So.
Hang on. I'm going to want you to say that again. Sorry. Looks like your sound was a little bit down. If it was, let me know in the chat. But just in case the sound was out, say it again.
Oh, I was just saying that you can find me on most social media at Bardic_DW. And you can also catch what I do on Saturday mornings on Beyblade. You can catch what I do on video games like Castlecraft and Shadowverse. And you can also catch a lot of my friends who are amazing and even more talented than I am on the new Diablo game, the new Zelda game, the new Street Fighter game, all of that out there. There's some amazing VO talent. Please go and support voice actors.
That is some amazing stuff. So yeah, we got Con Head going, Dan, you're really quiet. I know, I got him on this one. It's like, that's better sound. Yeah, I know. So this weekend, VidCon is in town. It started yesterday, all that stuff. So now I'm totally reinvigorated from all this new psychic energy coming in to Los Angeles from elsewhere. I can feel the hate from everybody because, you know, a lot of people hate Southern California. And funny thing, like, you know, I'm an LA native. I was born, raised here. I've walked all these streets. I did the punk rock thing on Hollywood Boulevard. I was riding ATVs with people in the valley. You know, I was listening to Gin and Juice on Crenshaw with Warren G and all those guys. I've been around and all that stuff. And the one thing I've noticed is that everybody hates LA, but everyone wants to move to LA. So I think that is so funny, especially like people in the surrounding counties, San Bernardino, San Diego, Orange County. They're like, no, I don't want to go to LA. It's so dirty. But they're all here and they're actually having fun and all that jazz. And I am invigorated. Actually, yeah, I am more rejuvenated. I was rejuvenated before, I lost it, and now I got rejuvenated again. Rejuvenated. So If I'm a little wacky and I seem a little punch drunk, I am. But it's not just because I got a little more than an hour and a half of sleep last night, but it's because, there's some good people in town and all that stuff. So, oh yeah, there you go. Megalobox. Yeah, fantastic. So,
It was the first one I worked on where I heard the term manime.
Manime?
Yeah, they were saying it was a new genre they were making with Megalobox was manime.
Is that like anime based on being toxically masculine or anime based on the female gaze?
I I would not say the second. And the only reason I would avoid the first one is the show itself did not go toxic.
Okay.
It did have the masculinity to it and a lot more of the like be strong, workout, that kind of thing. The guy's an amazing boxer who like it's takes place in the future where people box with gear on their arms to make them punch harder.
Oh yeah.
And this is the one guy who punches well enough that he doesn't need the gear, and he goes up against a whole bunch of people who don't have the gear on. So it was kind of sports anime. It was before we got the basketball anime, the soccer anime, and stuff like that. Megalobox was one of the first ones that came in.
Gotcha. See, I hear anime, and all I can hear is my mom going, "Oh yeah, I love them Japanese cartoons you bringing in. They got some. Look at them mans. You can have your anime, boy. I want me some anime because that's the way. That's literally the way. Like,
He is shirtless in most of the show, so I don't know that it's bad for the female gaze. I just don't think it was designed by somebody who had the female gaze.
okay, all right, because yeah, like
It
some of
feels
my
kind of like that conversation regarding He-Man, where it's not really the female gaze that is He-Man; it's the male desire to look like that. So it's not really female gaze.
right. Oh, thank you, Scott Lambright is now following us. Woo! Yeah,
Scott,
yeah, and yeah. So seriously, I will tell you some of my happiest memories from my childhood was watching professional wrestling with my mom. Because my mom, I'm like, wait a second, mom, you're willing to see if we can go to SummerSlam at the sports arena? She's like, well, you might like it for all them violence, but I like watching them mans. You'll understand one day when you hit puberty and certain parts of you drop from outside your body, son. I'm just like, I would say TMI, but I know what house I live in, so yeah, fine. But yeah, so sure enough, my mom loved greased up, manly looking men being violent toward each other. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's kind of a thing. Because our parents were people before we were born. That's just that's some real talk.
that's
You know.
true.
Oh man. So yeah. So to give you guys just a little bit of thank you, Sat Strange Little Man, for pumping Calder Graham's Spotify. We featured him yesterday. Another nerd, which is awesome. Another nerd, and that nerd does music. So yeah, check him out over on Instagram, the Caldergram. His top tracks like Rope, Lonely, and Waves. It's some pretty cool stuff. I had to use I had my sister log into her Spotify so I could listen to it because yeah, all that stuff. Wait, you went to the theater at noon for Manime? Okay, so bringing this back to PG-13. um, now, this week has been a heavy week for some and a lot to write. All right, Monday we talked about Juneteenth, the history of Juneteenth, and why. One, it's important to me because my family members were there, and applying the principles of freedom to the things that we do, because this is not for the meeting Tuesday night down by the docks. All right, I'm not getting political, but this is supposed to be the land where everybody is free, and we hear freedom, freedom, freedom. So we talked about people being locked in their mind prisons, and I'm like, guys, if we're so free all the time, everywhere, blah blah blah, we need to bust out from being confined by our habits and all that stuff. So yeah, the second part is Tuesday. We talked about the artist block that I was having and how I allowed myself the freedom to not fully paint my miniatures. that whole finish what you start, and it's like, no, free yourself up from those things that make what's supposed to be fun not fun. When your hobby turns into a job that doesn't give you a salary, it's no longer a hobby, it's a chore, you know? And as much as we love gamifying everything, even though I haven't figured out a way to gamify doing dishes, um, the real talk on that is, you got to take a break every once in a while and allow yourself to heal. And yesterday, the freedom to be kind and allowing the people that we are kind to be free to do whatever they want with our kindness. Okay? That is being kind to others. Like, if you've got $5 and a bum asks for a quarter, give him a quarter. If he uses it on beer, that doesn't matter. You had it to give. He might not use it on beer. And the freedom to be kind to yourself instead of finish what you start, or your third grade teacher was right about how she said that you were the laziest boy in 10 countings. No, 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 no. Be kind to yourself. Sometimes you need to give yourself that bubble bath. Sometimes you need to just fall into TikTok for an hour and a half that turns into a day. And you need to tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So that's where we were at. And instead of dropping another aspect of freedom on you guys, I brought in our good friend D.W. McCann to tell us his concepts of freedom and why those things are important and how he's kind to himself and kind to others and all that stuff. And I don't want to hear any short answers because you were one of the kindest people I know. So I know you have to talk at least about that. So let's get to it, man.
I have something to start off saying to you to make sure that you give yourself the freedom and the kindness that, like, I saw how you were treating yourself about what was or was not done for the stream this morning and with this afternoon.
Don't you do it, man. Don't you do it. Not you, man.
Well, think about the fact that both of us happened to be out really late last night at the anniversary of Pick Your Poison's roguelike Rumbles. And we, had conversations with a whole bunch of people, then got home, got what sleep we could before got up and started our day. And we needed that last night. We need the kindness to allow ourselves some nights out. I'm glad you joined me for it. But at that same vein, when you wake up and you start attacking the stuff and you didn't get a lot of sleep, you need to be gentle with yourself. You need to be understanding that not everything's going to work perfectly, and give yourself the time to be able to adjust as needed. And I think you had that. You gave yourself the ability to set up as much as you could so that anything that came up, you had the ability to deal with it. Had you not done the efforts you did, when you say you got set up this afternoon, you wouldn't have been able to deal with the fact that you were out of something or the volume was low or that, because you would have already been dealing with so much more.
I know you're not telling me it's not my fault. Not you, man. Not you. Don't do this, man. Not you. No,
I am a firm believer in dual responsibility. So I don't ever tell anybody it's not their fault. But it takes more than just your effort.
Fair.
And the world has its own design, and the world has its own, plan that's going to go, and you have to be able to adapt to it. So you can do everything you can to prepare for it, but things are going to change. So it's the freedom, in your own plans to be able to adapt. You need to have a looseness that can go with the flow.
Okay, I see where you're hitting with that. Where is my mouse? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I definitely see where you're going with that. I get a lot of calls. I get a lot of calls all week, from a lot of different places, a lot of different people. Half of the calls are, "We need the help of a wizard," and I'm like, ah. And then my bike comes up, and I'm like, good. Wait, no, I don't have Shadowfax anymore. I've got Nikki. So I'm just like, come back, Nikki, come back. And then, it comes up, and we go out and save the world and all that stuff. And the real talk on that is most of my conversations with people is to stop being so hard on yourself, especially about your hobbies, your interest, and the progress that you're making on the things that you're trying to learn or trying to create. It is so, so, so hard to allow kindness to oneself, especially with us creatives. And I don't mean us creatives as in content creators for the internet. I'm talking anybody that makes anything. Every single writer staring at that page going, stupid, I need to finish this chapter. Every GM that has to prep for a game going, oh, I don't know what's in the last 5 rooms of these dungeons. Every freaking person in the art department going, stupid, stupid, I should have bought that sequence when I saw it on sale. What am I going to do now? And I'm like, guys, whoa, relax. Take a breath. Make a wish. Count to 3. Come with me and you'll see that living there you will see that the pros act just like you and me. you know. And that is one of the things that I wanted to bring up with you today, sort of as an expansion on the theme of this week. But I talk a lot about mythologizing things. And I get it. I see this in myself. I see it in you sometimes. I see it in every person I deal with, where we look at the finished product and we have this mythology in our head that everything went smooth. And you and I, Mr. McCann, have an advantage in fighting that I want to share with everyone. And that is, we have been performers for decades.
I think we were performers before it was even our profession.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no, I literally mean like performers on stage and stuff, you know.
I know.
As
yeah? Children, people who tend to spend as much time on stage as you and I have, also performed when they were 5-year-old for their parents and their cousins and their...
Oh yeah, but I try not to count those formative years of mental scarring, because it's one thing to be in front of like your elementary school, telling African folk tales and dancing like a Martin Short character named Ed Grimley. I know I'm being oddly specific, but there might be a reason for that. It's another thing performing in front of the overweight aunt that keeps telling you you're good looking and you don't know what to make of that. You know what I mean? It's like... I don't know if you had that, but a lot of my
had that exactly. But no, it's interesting. You were talking about creatives, and I know you were making the specification, not just people who create content, but one of the very popular trends in content creation, I saw one just this morning, is somebody looking at the camera and telling you to be kind to yourself. The one I saw this morning specifically referenced, have you had any growth? I don't care how much. Have you had any growth? If you've had any growth, if that proves that there's been growth, so there will be growth. So just relax and let the growth happen. Stop judging yourself on how far you think you should be, and let things grow how they're supposed to grow.
Right. I totally agree with you on that one. Although sometimes, and I will say sometimes, the growth in and of itself is interesting. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because I am a content creator of color, I am always concerned about the growth that my channel gets, because are the people that are subscribing right now, are they down, or are they trying to do data mining, and will a SWAT team try and kick in my door one day? But simultaneously, see, I was gonna make a different joke with the oh yeah, did I have any growth? Well, my doctor says my prostate might be, but no. That is PG-13 because it is a medical condition. Woo! Yes, Blurtish is in. What's up, Blurtish? Hey, what is going on? Blurtish is another content creator of color over on YouTube. All right. Y'all need to hook up with him, because this guy, This guy is seriously, we're talking about, being kind to yourself in content creation. And this guy is like the Zen master of everything, doing that because he is a comic creator, a comic producer in the sense if there are creators working under him. He organizes events like small comic book conventions. He sets up table signings. He is just like, yeah, there you go, blurtish.com. Yeah, check that out, subscribe, check out some of the stuff. And he's hosting a platform for comic creators that have not had a chance to work for the big three companies. And every time I talk to him, he is just the coolest dude. When I hit him up, I'm like, this is one of the freest dudes I have ever met in the content creation game. And again, and if you guys are just tuning in, like Blurtish, and I haven't seen the rest of you guys because you haven't hit subscribe or follow, hit nudge nudge. Um, you know, Juneteenth was Monday, so this entire week is dedicated to freedom, the different types of freedom, and how we can manifest or exemplify that freedom in our behavior and thoughts. I don't mean manifest like light a bunch of candles and all that stuff. I'm talking about like, am I free enough to be cool with what I do? Am I free enough to be kind to myself instead of going stupid, stupid? No, no, no. It ain't about that. And seriously, Mr. Cooper over there is a black belt in that kind of freedom, like the Stevie Wonder song "Free" off Songs in the Key of Life. If you know, you know. Um, and so yeah, you were saying before he popped up, um, about being a content creator and talking about content creators. Please continue.
Well, not just to content creators, but to all people that are being creative. There's a theme with content creators on like TikTok where they're making these posts directly at you and telling you to give yourself a chance, to give yourself some care, some kindness, some love, and recognize that your growth will happen in the time that it's going to happen, and stop with the self persecution of making it a certain distance by a certain time. Allow yourself the room to grow at the pace that you need to grow.
Awesome. Yeah, and that is definitely one of those big things. Now, for those of us, we were talking about the fact that we have been performers, even if it is for that one questionable ant that keeps going, wow, your legs are starting to get real good. Yeah, I know, but we're blood. I'm not quite sure about that. Um, you know, we have this mythologizing of the end product. All right. The
Yeah.
thing that really put it out to me was years and years and years ago when I was doing kung fu 4 days a week. We got some new kids in, and those new kids finally found our kung fu school, and they showed up to one of our night practices. And these guys were going all out 100%, like trying to run up walls, and they were good. I mean, they were good. And much like me at 11 years old, they spent their time practicing the moves in the movies they saw before they were able to find the thing because they had thought this is what kung fu is. And then when we put them in the line and had them practicing their high kicks all the way across a basketball court and back, they were confused. This also happens in music, where I know as a bass player, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, you're slapping the bass because I can't think of an original joke," and they're expecting, and that's what I did. That's what I expected when I first started playing. And then when I first got my first professional studio gig, they wanted bop 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 bop, one note, one finger, no tricks, nothing. Just stay consistent and stay on the beat. And I'm like, but I practice my time doing the middly mow, do. They're like, yeah, we don't want that. We're paying you money, play the one note and play it right. And I'm like, oh, y'all, a different department handles that. So what I see or what I hear when I finally get the CD is the finished product, but the pieces are never as glamorous as the finished product. You know, Xanathates, exactly. Stand in front of this mirror and throw 100 jabs. One, two, you messed up. Start the count over.
I
You know.
I had a similar experience with the martial arts, and when I started teaching Shotokan karate to kids, I got a lot of kids that watched Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all of that, and that's what they came in wanting to do. And we were, no weapons, and they all, well, where do I get my bow staff? Where do I get my sai? Where do I get my nunchucks? And it's like, no, 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 just do this kick for the first, and no, 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 I want to be able to do backflips. Okay, do this kick for the first week.
Yeah.
Just stay here. So there were people we actually had to decline in the class because like this is not what they're interested in, and we can't provide what they want, and they don't seem interested in changing what they want to fit with what we can offer them right now.
I'm glad you brought up teaching. I really am, because in regards to freedom and kindness and taking a pause and all of those things, teaching is the number one place where these things are used in practice, even more than statistical analysis is used in RPGs. I mean, this is some real stuff, because we've all had those teachers that are sit down and study. And the ones that we remember are the ones that go, yeah, learning your four multipliers suck. Here's some quarters. Make me $5. Matter of fact, if you can make me $5, you can have it. And that kindness, that understanding, especially when things get hard, are the ways that what our teachers growing up taught us really stuck for the rest of our lives. No, I did not have any teachers that paid me. But again, I got to give a shout out to him, and to respect his anonymity, I'm still going to call him Mr. H. Really, the dude that he was the kindest and most influential teacher I have ever had. Mr. H, both Miss S's, and of course Miss O. All right, those four teachers were the ones that had the biggest impact on me. And I've talked about Mr. H on the show before, where he would do horrible things to us. Horrible things to us. He would bring in like a slot car racing track and start playing with it. And it's like, wait a second, aren't we supposed to be taking a test? He's like, you're supposed to be taking a test. I'm just killing time. And it's like, well, can we can we play with your slot cars? Well, what can you tell me about magnetic induction? Here's a book. And sure enough, I mean, he was kind, he was fun. Even when he was disciplinary, there was always care behind it. And he was the one that first taught me about kindness and freedom, because this dude was the freest thinker that I've ever seen in my life. And in the 21st century, that is the place that we are really missing the aspects of freedom. This is why this week for Juneteenth, this whole theme has been freedom, but primarily freedom of thought and freedom of behavior, because so many of us are locked in mind prisons of habit, tradition, comfort, and more so every single day, the mind prison of fear. We're not free to try anything new because we fear that if we try it for the first time, we're going to suck at it. And, again, this is where kindness and freedom interact, because we're not kind enough with ourselves to allow ourselves to be poor quality. Notice I didn't say bad. Yes.
Well, I was just, when you were saying that, one of the thoughts I had is the fact that the fear exists absolutely, like you said, in, what if I'm not great at it? But I worry how much it also exists in people who gatekeep, and people who don't let somebody have a moment to be wrong about something, and that not be well, I don't want to play this game anymore. Like allowing somebody to learn while they play a game the first time. We've talked about this many times on the channel, you and I. The opportunity to learn and not have that be something that feels like a punishment is going to change somebody's view of a game entirely, and or
Exactly.
anything that you
Yes.
do.
Yes. 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 And we have. And you know why I love having you on the show?
Why?
I talk about what, and you go right in with the how. That is so freaking great. Cause yeah, we're not born with these shackles. Okay. As my friend Nerd Soul, as my friend Nerd Soul popped off about Nerd Soul Light. I didn't say his name yesterday because I wanted to get it. I wanted to clear it up. When he saw the freedom of his 5-year-old son, that could just walk up to a kid and say, "Hey, you want to play? Hey, you want to play? Hey, you want to play?" And I know y'all, I know y'all out there. I watched you grow up, okay? But from millennials on, it's don't talk to strangers, don't talk to anybody, don't put yourself out there. Somebody's gonna snatch you up and put you in something. Then I'm gonna have to call Liam Neeson because he has a certain set of skills, and the world is scary and all that stuff. And they're stuck in that mind prison. They are so stuck in that mind prison. Where children have that freedom. And as creatives, we face more obvious gatekeepers than in anywhere else. Okay, than anywhere else. This is one of the things, and you'll hear me say this on the show, especially during the painting videos, where I'm like, they're my toys. I do what I want. I do what I want with my toys. What, you don't like the way I do my toys? And catch me outside. How about that? Because yeah, that's right. She took our vernacular. I'm taking it back. All right.
Good.
You don't like it? Catch me outside. No.
But she got publicity out of that one phrase. Still kills me.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll say it myself because, it came from my neighborhood, my actual neighborhood where I live to this day. You don't like that? Come on down. Not that I'll beat up a woman because, I don't quite do that. But I know one or two girls that'll have no problem laying into you and 5 or 6 more women that will do so better. But yeah, and we do face a lot of gatekeepers, a lot of gatekeepers. When I bring up the miniature painting thing, because for years, every time somebody is painting miniatures and someone says, "Oh my God, that is so cool." If they're other miniature painters, the first thing they do is pick up the mini and start going, huh, you missed a spot. Why'd you do that over there? Blah, da, 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 da. And I don't have to yell and scream anymore because I'm finally over 160 pounds at 6'4". So I can just look at them with that uncle's look that says my kids are grown. So if I go to jail for the rest of my life, I've already lived, and not threatening violence. I do not threaten violence, but they know it's there. They know that it's there. And, because the outside world, from parents to haters to people that see your magnificence and are scared that you being there will push them out for whatever reason. Their mind prison of fear is a bludgeon that they try and use to keep other people out. Okay? DW and I go through this all the time because one, we're entertainers, and two, we're comedians. And standing around talking to a bunch of comedians isn't a conversation. It is a 5-way audition war.
I feel you on that. But you were talking about the minis and the person pointing out what's wrong. And I wish that more people would take the time, especially if you are a seasoned, hey, Pencil Mage. You want to dance for that, Pencil Mage?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Pencil Mage.
Yeah,
All right.
Pencil
Thank
Mage.
you. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Pencil Mage. Cool, cool, cool. You only get the little dance because the real dance comes with the subscription that you can use Amazon Prime to get. That way, it's free for you, and Twitch doesn't have to send a bunch of really big guys with accents that are undiscernible that either wear ill-fitting silk suits or track suits to my door. So, so you were saying?
I wish more people that had the experience or had the know-how took the time initially, instead of pointing out the flaws, to point out the good things.
Yes.
To take a moment and first acknowledge the really amazing things. And then if you really want to go into a teaching mode, if that's what you feel you can offer, ask. Ask if the person wants any type of critique. Because there are a lot of people that are like, I'm just screwing around. I don't care what this looks like. I've decided to give him blue hair, and I've decided that he's going to have a yellow nose with red cheeks. Like, I'm just having fun. Like, so instead of trying to critique their fun, ask if they even want that kind of critique, if they want to get better. And then you have the ability to go, this is what I would do here. But I really like, and go back to I really liked that you did this and this here. It really is an interesting idea. And I think I might steal that from you. Or any of those kinds of things which really help build up that person's confidence when they're starting out is so useful and so much better for building people wanting to be in this community.
That is really, really, really a great point. What I'm getting from what you're saying is different ways, well, for a gatekeeper. And I don't know if there's many gatekeepers here in the chat and all that stuff, because I use the band hammer pretty hard. But before I do that, I give the gatekeepers a chance to become collaborators, and that's what I'm seeing from you. You're saying if a person is tempted to be a gatekeeper, instead of gatekeeping, intentional or not, enter the situation with collaboration to say, hey, you know what? That's all cool. I like the way that you did this. Would you like a tip? And not the compliment sandwich, because corporate America ruins just about everything. Yeah.
I think you hit on something, though, that is kind of crucial to this. The amount of gatekeepers who don't think they're being gatekeepers is an unfortunate factor. The amount of people who are like, oh, I'm trying to help them, and doing things that aren't necessarily helpful. And I think that's one of the things that I know when I see you working with people on games, or when I'm demoing games and I'm trying to help people realize that maybe isn't the best way to start things.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got people starting out and you want to be helpful and encouraging to somebody starting out, immediately telling them everything they're doing wrong is not going to make that person feel great about what they're doing. And to a certain extent, I feel like I had an advantage in doing all the game demoing I did when now I'm dealing with my son. I'm not in any way saying I was prepared for this kid, because there's no preparing. But I did have a bit of an advantage in the fact that I had an idea of how to cultivate, people being interested. Now, mind you, my son has several things that I've tried to cultivate interest in, and he's like, yeah, I don't care. And I have to totally respect that. There have been shows I've showed him, like, oh, he's going to love this show. Yeah, I don't want to watch this. Okay, I won't show you Gargoyles, my favorite animated series ever, but we'll watch something else now. We found Bluey. We found other things that we both like. So, being accepting of the fact that he's his own person, he's going to learn his own stuff. And a lot of that came from how I learned how to teach people games.
Are you telling me that gaming isn't just a pastime, but it's something that can give people tools to apply to their real life?
It's socializing. Like, gaming is involved with another person. You want to play a game on your own? There are tons of them that you can play online. There are tons of them you can buy a game system and you can sit in your house and play them. One of the weird crossovers, and it makes for an interesting community, is online gaming, where people are playing. Well, I'm home. I'm playing my game. I'm going to play it how I want. Well, but in that game, you have to deal with people. So you run into a lot of people who are like, I'm playing this game however I want, and I don't care about you. And other people who are trying to actually have that socialization or that cooperation to do a raid, do a dungeon, beat a certain boss or something like that, where they need the other people to work together. And then you tend to find that occasional person who, Leroy Jenkins into a room, and everybody's like, okay, well, I guess this is the new plan.
And don't get me wrong, I love that you said that, because the first thing that came to my head?
What?
Dated reference. I love being middle-aged. I really do. Actually, off topic real quick. You know,
Mummies Alive. I loved Mummies Alive, by the way.
yeah, seriously. I was more for the Inhumanoids, but
They were
um,
awesome. Had a few of those.
yeah, I couldn't because I grew up in an evangelical slash um evangelical slash hoodoo household, so it decompose was of the devil. I'm like, no, it's a monster that the good guys are trying to never mind. Um, but yeah, but off topic, yeah, I used to really, really, really love hanging out with adults when I was a kid until their humor hit. And I'm like, wait, do they call you grown because that's what you make everyone around you do when you talk? They're like, no, I grew up. I'm grown. I can say what I want. And I didn't get that until I busted 40. and now and now I'm just like, that's right. Look at all these references I can make. Oh my God, that's just so old. You're just a corny old man. I'm like, you'll get there. you know. Or in the immortal words of Abe Simpson, and it'll happen to you. you know. But yeah, wow, we got lots of people in there. Blurred is just sitting up. Never let Leroy Legend die. Let's see here. Oh, Xanathades. At you. I hear that. I have two kids, and my eldest and I have a lot of common interests. And or rather, she takes an interest in more of the things that I'm interested in. My youngest, though, has a lot of different interests, but it's so exciting when we find something she had, or she and I like that her sister isn't so into. Ditto. I'm right there too. Okay, my kid is 23, about to turn 24. And you would think that nobody likes them. I'm not just making that reference because of the age, but I also saw that band live a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not talking about it. But I'm on the opposite end. I'm like, wait, you like this thing? And my kid is like, wait, you like Steven Universe? I'm like, why not? An overweight kid who has a weird family life that's trying to save the world by getting people to talk to each other. I feel seen, you know? and, and of course, my kid is like, yeah, whatever. However, my kid also has a younger sibling that does the same thing to them. So, as above, so below. and so,
The
yeah,
cycle continues.
yeah, but yeah, the biggest places, and I'll let you guys know, and I'm glad that DW brought this up. The biggest place I learned these concepts from were from the best teachers I ever had. And some folks like to talk to me like, oh, you're always so didactic. Why do you talk to everybody like they're a student? I'm like, because nobody knows everything and we're all learning. So, so, um, and sure enough, um, when it comes to those ideas, I always love dealing with a free spirit or with a free thinker. Somebody that goes, excuse me, somebody that doesn't think outside of the box as an act of rebellion, but much like a child, thinks outside of the box because they are not aware of the concept of box. Just, hey, whoop, whoop, woo. You want to play? I'm playing with dice. Digga, 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 digga. Though I am an adult, so when I'm like, all right, let's play with dice, but what are the rules and how can we keep them consistent? Just so I can keep up. See, life kind of beat me down, so I'm relatively free, but I'm like, I'm like that ex-con, or I'm like Morgan Freeman in The Shawshank Redemption. Like, I'm free, but I'm injured, so I'm kind of limping. I can't run through the woods as fast as you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Oh, we got Nerd Soul over there on the other platform right there. Yeah, we were just talking about you, bro. Um, and so yeah, that is, these concepts of freedom and kindness and the freedom to take a break. Now, I am not a big fan on using trending phrases, not because it cheapens the phrase, but because there's so many different interpretations once everybody starts throwing stuff around that it's very difficult to know what people are talking about. And since we have so many different dialects in American English, ugh. So when I say take a pause, some would call that self care, but you hear self care and start thinking Instagram influencers that are trying to sell you their brand of lotion. And I'm really talking about just taking a break, when you're trying to create something. I know DW can speak to this a lot more, but like voice actors have to do their auditions in their own studios and send them in. So when you're doing like 4 or 5 different takes, sometimes you just got to take a step back and think about what voice or emotions you're trying to do. When you're painting a miniature, you have to take a step back and ask, do these colors hit really? And as a musician and a content creator, sometimes I have to take a step back and go, am I playing too many notes? Am I playing not enough notes? I was able to play that thing yesterday. Why can't I play it now? Oh, yeah, I'm tired and I need more coffee. So let me get some coffee and try and wake up a little bit so I can do this thing and be consistent. Nerd Soul.
Take a step back. Oh, go ahead.
There is a question from Neon Arlecchino. Does Nerd Soul see Twitch comments? I'm pretty sure they do. They don't come up on the YouTube chat, but they do come up on screen in the same way you guys are looking at them right here. So they might be able to do that. No. So what were you saying?
Well, I was just saying in your comment of take a step back, I can speak on the voiceover stuff. It's actually been encouraged by several of my coaches that not only to take a step back, but take time. Walk away, do something else for 15 minutes, and then go back and listen to it. Because if you listen to it right after you recorded it, oftentimes your intention in that moment is still in your head, even if it's not in the recording.
That's true.
So you take a step away, go do something else, distract yourself from it, and come back and listen to if that intention is there. It's not in your head, and you'll be like, oh, I thought I did that differently. And you'll catch things you didn't even realize you did. And, oh, no, I want to re-record that because I had this thought in my head of what I want to do, and that's what I want to do, and I didn't translate that onto the recording.
Okay. Absolutely. I definitely see how that works. And it's funny because when I was first working in things like special effects and all that stuff, I had one supervisor that did not want to talk about work on lunch breaks. And I'm like, yeah, but see, I got this question of, ask me at 1. And I'm like, what's the deal with him? And one of my other coworkers were like, he's union. But later on, I actually had a chance to talk with him, and he's like, I need to take a break and a step back and think about something other than what I'm building. So when I'm not building it, I don't need people coming up to me asking me questions about what I'm building because that messes up my thought process. And I'm like, okay, all right. I was very young at the time. I was like barely 17 or 18. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of get that. But how do you know when to go back? And it's like, generally when you start getting yelled at, that kind of thing.
That's a good way to choose. Yep.
Yeah. So, and Nerd Soul, I tried to make the chat a little bigger so that you can see. I don't know if you're watching on the screen or on your phone and stuff like that. But yeah, so that is a real thing. Of course, Neon, since you are at work, you might want to open up another tab, thumbs up, and subscribe to that channel. That way you can be part of the Help a Brother Out crew, hashtag HBO. And for the rest of you guys, again, I got to do this because if you're getting any value or you think, you know what, these guys should totally do this more often and not have to take jobs, emptying cargo containers and doing 1,500 reps of 50-pound boxes over an 8-hour period, then pop in the chat. I just posted a donations tab and a tab to our Patreon and all that other stuff. And if y'all do not have the financial freedom to help us out on this, subscribe on YouTube, thumbs up, share. That doesn't cost a dime. Or yeah, this is me being what is the term? Oh yeah. This being me using improv. And you could subscribe on Twitch using your Amazon Prime account, and that's a free subscription. Okay, you can subscribe for a month for free using Amazon Prime, which you already got, because this is the 21st century and no one buys anything any place that they can find fresh oxygen. And I'm actually ordering stuff on Amazon right now. And yeah, you can help me out that way. Your dragon is blocking the chat. I'll just take your word. Oh, thanks, Blurtus. He's like, aha, I'm over here now. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Gaming Fix Live. Also, y'all should check out their Twitch channel. Gaming Fix Live XXX. No. Yeah. Gaming Fix Live or twitch.tv/Gaming Fix Live. Check out their stuff. Our other host, Heather and Frank, have really good shows that are over there. So check that out too. I don't know how long I got you, but we've already been talking for an hour.
Yep.
That makes me sad. So does that mean you have to go and go off on all of your...
I got about 15 more minutes.
Woo! 15 more minutes. So while we're here, guys, you up for doing a quick AMA for the people in the chat?
Sure.
All right. So AMA in the chat for DW McCann has already begun.
Just me. I thought it was us.
Huh?
We were getting stuff. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they ask me everything all the time, especially Neon Arlecchino, asking, so if a train leaves Mordor at 28 miles per hour, I'm like, trick question, they had no trains in Middle Earth. So yeah. So yeah, I'm very happy that you could join us today and have this conversation with us, the very concepts of game. Oh, okay, so we got people jumping back and forth on each platform, and that is awesome. Yes, back in the deck shall be everything.
Platform hopping.
Yeah, and you know what? That's cool. An entire video game genre has been made from doing just that. So,
one of my favorite YouTube things that's out now, if you have kids, it's called Jump Challenge, and it is a game that has already been played and recorded, and your kid just thinks that jumping in front of the screen is playing the game.
Could you elaborate on that? Because I'm a little confused.
So it's a video of side by side, and they'll usually pick either like Bluey and Bingo or Optimus versus Megatron or whatever, and you pick which side you are. It does require one parent to also jump unless you have two kids. But there's just a hopping from cube to cube game, and it's already been played. It's recorded. They just then make it seem like the kids who are there, who are they're either Bingo and Bluey or whoever, that they jump to make the jumping happen.
Oh,
so
okay.
My son is like, I got a gem, and I'm like, that's great. He's so excited he just hops, and the thing keeps playing. And it's a whole video, and there's a whole bunch of them out there called Jump Challenge. Highly recommend.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like Cubert, but it's actually more similar to Beat Saber. I don't know the name of this game, but it probably is something for like any one of the Oculus, any of those type of game systems. But it has that vibe where there's just cubes, and you clearly have to do something to bounce between them. And it's two people playing, so you see the double cubes going, but it's already been played. And so the winner has been pre-decided. You don't know who it is because if you keep watching different videos, you can't necessarily guess who's going to win. And it's phenomenal.
You know what?
You get a lot of energy out.
Given the amount of stupid challenges that there has been on social media over the past 11 years, I'm kind of fine with that. As a matter of fact, I think that's actually a pretty smart way to do stuff, because if any of y'all have kids under the age of 11, they gonna do that stuff anyway. That's just what they do. I don't know. I mean, I used to speak kid. Oh, real quick. Let's see here. What are we talking about? Blurtish. You don't gotta be. How dare you? You're literally apologizing in a freaking podcast literally about freedom. Like, dude, nah, you be goofy. You be as goofy as you want, bro. Sitting up. Oh man, I apologize for being goofy. No, you be as goofy as you be goofy. You be Max all day. You can even be Tevin Campbell if you want to. All right, bro. So seriously, just be goofy. So, like I was saying, if any of y'all have ever had kids and really, hey, thank you so much. Yeah, you finally subscribed to the YouTube channel. That is awesome. The fact that you haven't until now is a little sus, but that's okay.
In all honesty, I usually just watch it in the background on Twitch, and so I have not gone to the YouTube and done it.
Oh, here it comes.
I think I've joined maybe you're the fourth YouTube channel I've subscribed to.
Fair enough.
I'm not active on YouTube.
And here it comes.
But I'm not very active.
Yeah, and here it comes. Blurtish is like, I am free to apologize if I want. You know what? You're right. You want to apologize? Cool. I apologize for trying to drag you out on the carpet for apologize. No, you're free. You know what? I ain't catching you outside. How about that? You can apologize about that. So yeah, that's a really big thing. So honestly,
to Ian Arlecchino's question. Am I making the breakfast or is it being made for me?
Oh, second breakfast in Hobbits. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see.
If I made first breakfast for myself, then I would probably put most of the effort into first breakfast, and then second breakfast would be something along the lines of a granola bar, an apple, and maybe some hummus with pita. Like that's probably a good second breakfast for me, in the idea that it's the least amount of effort. I've already probably made and cleaned up from first breakfast. I don't want to make more dishes. So it's things that don't require dishes to make, to eat, to anything. Hand food, done.
I was literally about to razz you a little bit for sounding so Californian. However, now I'm going to say, bro, I'm California too. Don't give away, don't break the mystique. All right, don't break the mystique. Because people are like, oh, Californians, what's up with them California? Y'all eat all that granola and all that stuff. Don't tell them why. It's like, yeah, no, we do all that stuff because we want to be healthy. Like, we like being healthy. No, we don't like being healthy and all that stuff. We just don't want to do no more damn chores. Yeah.
Well, way that I've had people challenge my Irishness for the fact that I'm not a big fan of stout beer. Or beer in general, but I can outdrink most people in whiskey. But the fact that I actually do not like avocado toast. I like avocados. I like toast. Together, they don't do much for me. So I probably have lost my California card from that alone.
No, you have not lost your California card because I know you may not like avocado toast, but I've seen you do guacamole and starch. Okay, I've seen you do that. Because, yeah, oh, my God, California. What's up with all those millennials and their avocado toast? You know what? We use guacamole in our nachos. Shut up. I mean, seriously.
Well, no, so is corn chips considered starch?
Huh?
Is corn chips starch?
Yes. Every grain is. Every grain is considered a starch. I mean, that is, I got that from a nutritionist. And yeah, so, avocado toast, yeah, guacamole on your nachos, same thing. This is why I don't give the generations following me crap. Not just because I'm a Xennial, spelled with an X, not with a Z, but I wore hammer pants, so I can't make fun of anybody younger than me for what they wear or what they eat, because we had fruit by the foot and freaking hammer pants. And so yeah, real talk, okay, now over we got Blurtish, oh no, Nerd Soul. First breakfast, cereal, easy. Second breakfast, 1 egg plus 2 egg whites. And I'm like, okay. I'm a terrible hobbit because I'm a wizard, so I don't have breakfast. I don't even wake up until 11sies. So first breakfast is 3 cups of coffee and 2 cigarettes. Second breakfast is 4 more cups of coffee and 5 more cigarettes. So, yeah, maybe a donut. In that
same vein, I'm a bard, and we tend to perform late at night and sleep in.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, same kind of vibe. I have 3 lunches more than I have 2 breakfasts.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thanks, Nerdzol. He's sitting up. Hammer pants were dope. Real talk, the main reason I wore hammer pants was not to be cool, but because with that much fabric and parachute pants, you had an entirely different weather system in your clothing than you did on the outside. So every step I took, I got a really cool circulative breeze going through my pants in the hot summers of Southern California. So yeah, it's true. Like, what do we got here? Like gaming figs. What? Toast seems dry. Yeah, toast does seem dry, but if honestly, I think it's a sin to have toast without butter. But I'm just realizing that I'm coming out in public to you guys and admitting that I am going to die before I'm 70 years old. It's like, what is up? This dude lives off of a diet of cigarettes, coffee, and butter. What's going on with him? And
it's when you start mixing those three things together. When you start just putting the cigarette in your cup and then pouring a big that's when there'll be a problem, and I will talk it. Proximity is important. We used to joke about the idea that my family has always teased me. I refer to things in food categories, not like grains, bread, and that. There's meat, there's near meat, and there's what meat eats.
Okay.
And I joked with several vegetarian friends of mine about the fact that if you eat too much of the third category, you become the first category. But one of the things that was posed was ice cream. What is ice cream? And you don't eat it with meat. It's not meat itself. You don't eat it with meat. But we decided time proximity was important. So it's a near meat in the fact that you have meat and then you have ice cream.
Interesting. See, just as soon as I kind of spaced a little bit, because when you were like, well, what is ice cream then? I'm like, ice cream is heaven and the only thing that makes life worth living after you're 35, okay? That's only if you don't spend half of your days doing wine.
Somebody have a DoorDash they can send over to Solar with some ice cream, please.
It's cool. I got 2 gallons in the freezer. But yeah, it really is one of those things. Very, very cool. You know what? I want to thank you for showing up today and being on the show. I know you're super busy, which is why you're not here every week, and I do not begrudge you on that because you're busy in a good way. You're busy in a good way. I know last week you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm really, really busy. I'm not doing anything with Nick Fury and the Agents of Shield. I just happen to be south of the border with my family, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna be in Cancun doing research for a part. Yeah, the character I'm.
Research.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Chichen Itza is amazing.
Yeah,
Bring it down that way, you need to go to Chichen Itza.
Yeah, seriously. And thank you for showing me those pictures, because last night he showed me the picture of the hoop for the games at Chichen Itza with like that whole hip thing. And I'm gonna say this: that hoop for that game that they would throw the rubber ball and hit it with the hips and all that stuff, sort of the prelude to soccer. The goal was 20 feet in the air.
Yep.
Which actually
and the
cleared.
ball was heavy.
Yeah, that cleared up something for me too. So my mom would tell me about her disco days, and she always wondered why there weren't very many specific Mexicans in the disco doing the bump. And I'm like, oh, now that I know, it was a matter of public safety. So, because if their hips could hit a freaking 5-pound rubber ball 20 feet in the air and go through a hoop, yeah, they were going to be killing people on the disco floor. That's really what it was.
Well, I want to cover a quick ice cream note on the end of this as we close up.
Mhm.
First of all, I need to apparently try cashew ice cream because I love cashews. So I need to thank you, Grey Ghost, for introducing me to that concept. But Arlecchino, for sadly, they don't make my favorite ice cream flavor anymore. It was one of the early Ben and Jerry's flavors that was chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. And it was chocolate ice cream with peanut butter cookie dough chunks in it.
Okay.
And they don't make it anymore. It was the best thing ever. I've never tasted something similar, and I need to make an attempt at making it sometime on my own.
Okay. All right. The important thing is when you add the cookie dough to your ice cream, make the cookie dough with no eggs. Just like Tool tells you to do. Un nine air. So yeah. But seriously, man, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you again for always inviting me. It's an honor to be on the show with you, my friend.
Oh, honor. You talk like I'm important.
You are to
It's
me.
like, huh?
You
Oh,
are to me.
stop trying to make me blush. That is a privilege that your hue allows. Okay. uh, but seriously, thank you for being here. Guys, check out Bardic DW. Seriously, start watching Beyblade. It's on a streaming service. Check it out and see if you can find him. Huh? Also check out things like the Mayans and Blackish and all that stuff. This guy, once you know what you're looking for, he is everywhere. Matter of fact, I think he's behind me. So seriously, check this.
It was funny finding out that Everything Everyone All at Once was coming out when somebody spotted me in the trailer. Like, that's how I found it, because we shot that movie in 2019 and I had no clue what it was. And they did not explain it to us in any which way. The day the call was DMV patron. And they're like, okay, so the explosions will be over. Like, excuse me, explosions? And we're watching these actors come through that are just phenomenal names. And we're like, what is this movie? I've got it. And could not have been prepared for what it turned out to be. But yeah, it was phenomenal to work on that. I got to do one stunt. When you see the up close of her hand open and punch the guy, that is me in the shirt and trench coat, not the actor. He wasn't there that day and they needed to get that punch shot. So that's me in that stunt.
That is super duper awesome. Like, seriously. So
I still didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no clue who it was because, again, I only knew the clothes he was wearing. He wasn't a named character. He wasn't in any of the trailers. Like, I don't know what this guy is.
Again, that's that mythology of everything. Fun fact, guys. Nothing is filmed sequentially except for stage performances. And yeah. When, my closing words today. I should probably have some of that You See Timmy music from freaking 80s sitcoms. But anyway. When it comes to being kind to yourself, okay, we see things that are already finished. We compare stuff to what we know, but we're never quite sure what we know and what we don't know. So allow yourself the freedom to think of new ideas, to not commit yourself to, yeah, that's right, even Ashley Simpson's SNL commercial. Thank you, Neon Arlecchino, for totally ruining this moment. Allow yourself the freedom, the grace, and the compassion, the kindness to yourself, to understand that everything that we do, everything that we create, every drawing, song, even email we compose, or mixtape for that girl you like. I know I'm from the 80s, so apply your situation as it will. Allow yourself the kindness to know that it may not be perfect, and the freedom to deviate from your plan, This week, as I said, means a lot to me because, as you guys know, my family came to California during the Great Migration, but they were born in the South in the 1890s. That's how far back my immediate family goes. I learned at my great-grandparents' knee about principles and work ethic and all that stuff. And my great-grandmother, the eldest member of my house, was born 30 years after. Actually, no, it was more like 26 years after the letter that caused Juneteenth landed in Texas. And that's where her mother was, And so, real talk, she allowed herself the freedom to form a family. My family allowed themselves the freedom to leave the Jim Crow South and come to California. All right. And we've been here ever since. Not because we think we're stuck here, but because we wanted to stay here. Okay. She freed herself from Texas humidity and cicadas coming from under the ground and causing noise pollution every 5 or 6 years. If you know, you know. And she had the freedom to allow me to learn the things I learned and to create who I am and to give me the wisdom to continue to create who I will be. That process is very difficult for all of us. And we have to allow ourselves the freedom and the grace to do just that. Because a lot of people say, well, everybody dies alone because I'm an edgelord and my miniature is painted in 6 shades of black, you know. But the fact is, regardless of who you're surrounded by, you're always with you. So allow yourself the freedom to create who you are and to be that. Okay. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you, DW. Where can they find you if they're late to the party?
You can find me on social media, most social media platforms as Bardic_DW. And they can find me on random shows and cartoons and video games.
Awesome. And of course, if you guys want to refute the stuff I say or have questions about how it is you guys can expand your games and help with other people or even learn to teach. Excuse me, that was me having a little old man breath. You guys can hit me up, and I mean this. You can totally hit me up. If you open up your email and go to backinthedeck at gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. You can also reach out on Twitter and Instagram at the same address. If you're on TikTok, look me up at BidP, that's BIDPY. And of course, if you are part of that wretched hive of scum and villainy because, like me, you're a middle-aged person and are intimidated by how many social media platforms there are, join our Facebook group, Deckers on the Book. Show us what you're making. Tell us about what you're writing and all of that stuff. What games you're playing, what miniatures you're doing, what ideas you have for a character you might want to make for your friend's game and you're afraid of breaking his or her or their campaign. But with that, thank you guys. Hey, Power Commander. You're rating with a party of 5. Dude, you guys are just getting here and we're signing off. Oh my god. That's Red Eye Gaming TV. You know what? I'm gonna let DW take off because he's got a thing. But since you guys are here with a raid, I'm gonna stick around for a little bit longer. But for those of you that gotta leave, if anybody tells you that you can't like what you like, or have the hobbies you like, or create the stuff that you want because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disabilities, or your budget, or your neurodiversity, you can look them dead in the window of their soul, and you can say,
put it back in the deck.
Take that card, and put it
back in the deck.
That's right. I am Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and this is...
I forgot.
Okay. Yeah, this is I Forgot. Now, he'll be seeing you guys next time on the dark side of the room, but for you guys that have rated, hang on after the blackout, and we'll do a little bit of bonus content for you guys just showing up. All right, but thank you guys for joining, and we will catch you guys next time. All right, I'm coming back with the bonus stuff in about 5 minutes. All right. In the meantime, allow your guys themselves the freedom to go to the bathroom, maybe refill your water. In my case, refill the coffee cup. All right. We will be back in just a few. Okay, we are back. Oh man. One thing about doing a whole lot of this, my biggest thing, all right, for the big Twitchers and all that stuff out there, my biggest props to all those people, RT Gamer, Double Toasted, even the ones I don't like the debate bros out there. How do you guys keep doing this stuff and not go to the bathroom? I mean, seriously, that is some real stuff. So, um, I want to thank you guys for being here and showing up. And this has been a great show. I have been so happy and so blessed. And I'm seriously thanking you guys. Um Especially you Raider guys. Thank you so much, Power Commander and Red Eye Gaming TV. So we talked a lot about stuff today. But I want to bring it back to what the channel is about. Like, we are about gaming. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. I know this seems like, wait, he says he's about gaming. It's a lot of gaming and a lot of life coaching, and they're related. As DW said, the skills that he learned giving game demos for Slugfest games and Steve Jackson games has helped him in his relationship with his son. So let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on this week, okay? Because this is a really big week for games. And I mean like a really big week for games. I'm not getting into the TSR Gygax controversy with all of that stuff. I don't do that negative stuff. However, I don't do that negative stuff because I like being happy. And second, there are people that cover it way better than me. I will refer you guys to Discourse Gamings and Discourse Miniatures. That woman is on point all the time. Seriously, she is. What was it? I think I watched a friend of mine's YouTube review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and one of his guests said something that I'm stealing right now, which is they are on point like icicles. I mean, seriously. But also one of the big things that is happening this week is Magic the Gathering has dropped the Lord of the Rings decks. And these things are stupid powerful, and I'm very, 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 very glad that they are essentially a deck series of their own. Okay, they're not legal cards to mix in with other stuff because, yeah, the stuff from the Lord of the Rings is just way too powerful. And hang on, let's see here. MTG Lotar G. No. Let's hope it doesn't give me to a certain senator. All right. There we go. Ah, look at this. Look at this. Nope. That's the CC. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, Magic the Gathering for Lord of the Rings. I'm looking for some pictures of some of the cards, so we can look over some of this stuff. Cause yeah, if y'all are still into cardboard crack, let's take a couple of things out. Let's see, Gandalf the Grey. Yes, of course, that be the one I pull up. What? Catch me outside. Um, I've been saying that all show. Let's see here. 3 colorless, 1 blue, 1 red. Whoever casts an instant or sorcery spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen. You may tap or untap target permanent. Gandalf the Grey deals 3 damage to each opponent. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose a new target for the copy. Put Gandalf on top of its owner's life. What? What? That is no. That is not cool. All right? If I'm reading this right, you got Gandalf out there, you cast an instant or a sorcery, and then you get to copy it. Do it again. Gandalf deals 3 damage to each opponent, and then he bails and goes to the top of your deck, being the next card that you can draw, and you can untap a permanent. That is stupid. That is just stupid. I really like it. And these things are actually out there. Ooh, Saruman of many colors. Let's take a look at this guy. Let's see. Discard an enchantment, instant, or sorcery card. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, each opponent mills 2 cards. Oh. When one or more cards are milled this way, exile target enchantment, instant, or sorcery card with equal or lesser mana value than the spell from an opponent's graveyard. Copy the exiled card and you may cast it. That. What? What? Oh my god. That is. That is just dumb. That is stupid. And when I say that is stupid, Saruman straight up says, "No, I'll take that spell. I'm using it and you can't have it no more." Yeah, that's about right. We got Xanathades over here talking about Goldberry and thickness. So let's oh. Okay. Well, let's take a look. Yeah. Um yeah, so looks like her and a certain vampire lady should get together and go out for mimosas or something. There is a bit of thickness there. Yes, there is a bit of thickness, and I definitely appreciate that. And thank you for bringing that up because yeah, I am very like really this is some really good art. And what I'm digging on this, and I mean digging for real on this is it's showing beautiful fantasy art with variable body types, and I really do like that. Um because beautiful people come in so many shapes and sizes. There's not just I spend 9 hours a day at the gym kind of size, which is kind of cool. I really kind of dig that. So yeah, good on you with the thickness of the goldberry. You know, the goldberry thickness. That's some really good stuff. And also, okay, also, other big news that's coming out is um Warhammer 10th edition Leviathan box set actually comes out this weekend. It hits the stores on Saturday. What? Yep. It hits the stores on Saturdays. And y'all know how much crap I talk on GW. Y'all know how much crap I talk on GW. And I got the freedom to do that because they're not paying me. And real talk, even if they were, I'd still tell the truth about what I think about them, which means they will never sponsor me. But that being said, I'm not gonna lie. What they've done with no, I want all cookies rejected. Thank you. What these guys have done is a good job. Okay, it's a really good job. This is coming out on Saturday. I think the list price is going to be about $150, or no, sorry, 300 or something bucks. And it comes with a whole bunch of miniatures. We're doing Space Marines and Tyranids on this one, which makes a lot of sense. Because their last edition, ninth edition starter set were Space Marines and Necrons, and since Space Marines are the poster boys for this property, that's what they're gonna do. Honestly, I would love a new edition where Space Marines are not in the starter box, but I'm preferential to the Sisters of Battle. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, trust me, just follow us along on this one. But what these guys did on this one was they followed the market trend of releasing the rules and everything you need to play the game other than miniatures, dice, and another person. But they released all that stuff for free on the Warhammer community page. I've actually downloaded the basic rule book. I've downloaded all the data indexes, and I'm actually going to learn how to play now that I have a rule book. All the models I have from One Page Rules, and I have the rule books, and they drop the points, the point cost for all that stuff. And the way that they're doing it is really, really, really good for new players to that rules bloated, complicated game. So I'm not hyped, all right, but I am impressed. I'm very impressed. There's a whole lot of other changes because I watch a lot of battle reports that I could see that I think they need to make, but they're not selling the game that I would design, they're selling the game that they made. And the way that their game has been made, um, what they've done with it looks a lot better. It looks a lot more fun, a lot easier to learn. And yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm relatively impressed. So good on you guys. Really good on you guys. What was that? Oh, Xanathase. Yeah, that's why I mentioned it. Yeah, I got to say, Goldberry has some thickness, and she should probably team up with a certain vampire queen and they should go out for mimosas. That's what I'm sitting on with that. What's going on, Power Psycho? And Paul Zixie 91, thank you for joining us. And yeah, we're doing all that. Now, I want to let you oh, what is this, Scott? Hey, thank you so much. If you're the Scott that I think you are, it was great for you to be here, and I'm so glad that you tuned in. Now, tomorrow, my show tomorrow, it's gonna be just us again this time, but tomorrow we're having another paint tutorial. It's not gonna be those robots. I might actually go back to the Polkabot for a hot minute. I gotta see if I can get a hole puncher. You guys will see why. But I've got so many things to paint. I think we're gonna go in for the Blessed Sisters from One Page Rules, because I've been kind of neglecting those gals, dealing with my spacemen and my beastmen and all that other stuff that we're putting in. But there is so much cool stuff going on. If you guys want, I'm gonna see if I can find a way to at least get a solo game of Warhammer 40k in. They did something really very smart with what they did. They've been releasing combat patrols, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little mad at them because everything around there seemed to be like, well, if you want to play with the combat patrols and blah blah blah, you got to buy like 5 or 6 to play Warhammer 40k. And the whole principle of the Mind Prison, I've seen I've seen it really solidify in competitive gaming, and I want to free people from that. And good on Games Workshop, and I really mean that. Good on Games Workshop for creating a format in their new game where this, my friends, is a combat patrol. This is $136. This looks like Death Watch. Okay, yeah, Death Watch. These are the models. You get like what, 20 or so models and a leader of some kind. Oh, 15 miniatures. One of them is a leader. It's a full playable beginning team for games that are so small that no one plays. Good luck finding someone to play with you. But they released the rules to play just the combat patrol in this edition. So if you just have a combat patrol or 10 or 15 miniatures, you can play these rules on a smaller board, and that actually works. You can actually do that. And you're not stuck in putting a mortgage on your house to play a game. And that is really, really cool. Wait, what is this? This is a really big thing. Hand purple blue. I'm trying to see. I got a really, really big comment here. Peace hand purple blue peace hand purple blue. Oh, hand purple blue. Interesting. Gotta head out, catch you next time. Oh. Boop. Yeah, looks like somebody hacked my page. Well, that is a thing, because, yeah, what is this? Hand purple blue piece, hand purple blue piece, hand purple blue piece. All right, so with that being said, because this isn't coming up on the other stream, but this is coming up right here. So with all that, thank you guys for being here. I've been on for almost an hour and 45 minutes, so thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much, Power Commander, for the raid. Yeah, right? Thank you so much, Power Commander, for the raid. And join us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be doing another paint tutorial, which is cool. And to see if I can get a mini or so painted in about an hour. Okay, that is what we're doing. but I actually have to get to work as well because I got called in for a gig tonight about 30 miles from my house. So, with that, if anybody tells you that you can't like what you like because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, neurodivergency, or your budget, you can just tell those guys to put those cards back in the deck. This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and we will see you next time on the dark side of the rule.